Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Stage round,
afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes. So within 2 or 3 minutes, we can start, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is she speaking?
Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yes. You can start.
We have with us Connector, an apprenticeship by excellence, Dr. M.G. Sethuraman, Professor of Chemistry from the Gandhigram Rural Institute, who will address on the nuances to be deliberated by preparing IAQA and SSR. I invite Dr. R. Vanaki, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Business Management, to introduce the resource person. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good day to all. I take this privileged opportunity in introducing a remarkable academician filled with a lot of experience and credits in his profile. He stands as an example for learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Such a person is today's resource person to address in the technical session part. Here we have Dr. M.G. Sethuraman, Professor of Chemistry, Gandhigram Rural Institute, Dean University, Gandhigram. He had his MSc and PhD from Regional Engineering College, now called as NIT Trichy. He has 32 years of teaching and 36 years of research experience. His areas of specialization includes natural products chemistry and surface protection strategies. Professor Sethuraman has published 153 research articles in leading international journals, which gave him an opportunity and the honor of being included in the list of top 2% of world scientists compiled by Stanford University Elsewhere Research Intelligence and Science Tech Strategies for the year 2019 and 2020. He was conferred the Outstanding Research Scientist Award by the Antiviral Research Society in the year 2022. To all this credits, an academician has a lot of academic projects, research projects. Few are here to be mentioned. He has mobilized rupees 5.37 crores to projects. Besides, he is also the Associate Director of an Indo-US 21st Century Knowledge Initiative project of UGC, which is being executed in collaboration with University of North Florida, USA, with financial outlay of rupees 1.25 crores. He has also served as a coordinator for Lumsden Recognition Mentoring Program, a project funded by Lumsden Foundation, USA, and executed in collaboration with IIT Madras, Chennai, with a view to fostering innovation. He is recipient of the Muscat National Award 2018 of the Electrochemical Society of India in recognition of the significant contribution made to the domain of porcelain science. He was chosen for the Mid-Career Award of UGC under BSR scheme in 2021. He was the head of the Department of Chemistry for 3 years and Director IQAC for 8 years. He has served as Director, Research and Development, GRI, for 1.5 years. He has shouldered the responsibility of the Registrar in charge of Gandhigram Rural Institute for a brief period. He has also served as a member of the Interim Administrative Committee, discharging the functions of Vice Chancellor during the year 2008 and 2009. He has been nominated to the Syndicate of Bharatidasa University as Governor Chancellor nominee for the period of 3 years from August 2021. Presently, he is also serving as a member of Executive Committee, Bharatidasa University, Tiruchirappalli Business Development Center. He is also the member of the Finance Committee of Bharatidasa University. He is nominated to the Planning Board of Manoman Sundarnal University as a member of the Honorable Governor Chancellor for a period of 3 years. As a Director of IQAC, he has successfully steered the Gandhigram Rural Institute to get A grade in NAAC accreditation during the second and third cycles. He is the recipient of Institutional Social Responsibility Award of GRI from Honorable Vice President of India in recognition of the outstanding contribution made as Director IQAC. He has undertaken many quality assurance activities, including the development of PBA's formats. He has conducted academic and administrative audits at 6 universities and 25 colleges across India and has sensitized faculty members on quality enhancement strategies. He is an NAAC peer team member. He has served as resource person in more than 40 NAAC-sponsored national conferences and workshops. He is actively involved in quality assurance activities such as curriculum design, outcome-based education, quality metrics in research, research quality circles, quality benchmarking, and creation of institutional database. Besides, he has served as the overall coordinator for a visit of UGC teams for the review of the 11 and 12 5-year plans at Gandhigram Rural Institute. Sir, let me take a breath of completing your well-built, inspiring profile, which motivates that Each teacher can rise to higher the heights when they take the word in the mind. Excellence is not being the best, it is doing your best. Thank you, sir. We are much privileged to have you, and all of us gathered here has a curiosity in listening to your experiences, remarkable experiences, and we are eager to listen on nonsense to be deliberated you while preparing IAQA and SSR. Thank you all. Here, I hand over the session to today's resource person.
Sir, the dice is yours.
Very good afternoon to all of you.
So, good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the nice words of introduction. I thank the authorities of the Road Arts College for giving me an opportunity to speak to you in this seminar. Friends, we all know that NAAC is a necessary evil. Whether we like it or not, we need to subject our institutions to the scrutiny by NAAC. Quality is one word which we have been hearing every now and then. Unfortunately, quality is a casualty. We talk about quality, but do we take steps regarding the quality of the education? That is a question which is to be asked to everybody, right from the principal of the college down to the stakeholders. We have been hearing that NAAC has revised their guidelines, new guidelines have come and all that, and many institutions are getting A++ and all that. And there is also a cry from the public saying that there is a decline in this overall standard of the educational institutions. Often there is a mismatch between the NAAC's gradation and the public perception. All this has become routine. Of course, NAAC over the years has tightened the noose, has come out with several reforms, and has introduced various procedures so that the institutions are really able to concentrate on quality enhancement. But still, there are players who are able to have a shortcut approach implemented. Private agencies also have come up saying that they are helping the institutions for the preparation of SSR and all that. That's a hearsay. I do not know much about it. But all these are becoming common now. But please remember one thing, in the interest of the institution, in the interest of the higher education of this country, we need to emphasize on quality. Greater we emphasize, greater will be the quality. Of course, what we do is like we prepare for NAAC. The moment the NAAC accreditation is over, we close the IQAC and probably start reopening the IQAC doors only after 4 to 4.5 hours, 4.5 years. Road Arts College is it going for accreditation by any chance in the near
Yes, sir.
future? Yes, sir.
We are in fourth cycle.
You are going for it?
Fourth cycle.
You are going for the fourth cycle?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, that is why this seminar.
Sir?
Is it because of that this seminar is arranged? No.
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's an indication we come to know which all institutions go for accreditation. Okay. At least in the near, people slowly start, arranging for seminars, sensitizing teachers. All this is happening. Please remember one thing, quality assurance is not a one-time affair. It is a continuous, a continuous affair. So we need to really concentrate, just not once in 5 years or 6 months during this and all that. See, there are institutions which stop the main activity for 1 to 1.5 years. They prepare nothing, they do nothing else except preparation of NAAC. Okay. So people start generating records. All this we are able to hear. But unfortunately, that should really not happen. Even if a NAAC team comes to the college without any notice, they should be able to see the quality culture there. They should be able to see that people are quality conscious. So that is a kind of ultimate situation that we would like to have in every institution. It is not like people just spending hours, days, months for preparing preparing for the NAAC, suspending all the regular academic activities. That should never take place at all. Anyway, now let me go to the. I'm not allowed to share the screen. Can you enable me?
Sir,
Yeah, it says that you are not allowed to share your screen.
1 second, sir.
Yeah, please allow me to share the screen. Anyway, that is the kind of thing that we see. Now, we all know, friends, education is for life, education is through life, and education is throughout life. Higher education institutions have got mandates.
So now you can able to share.
Yes. I'll go to the presentation. One minute. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll just talk about the SSR preparation and all that, what is expected of me from now on. Now, as I said some time back, you need to have an awareness on quality. Once you become aware of quality initiatives, you need to attain quality. It is not enough if you attain quality, you'll have to sustain quality. It is again not enough if you sustain quality, you'll have to enhance the quality. There has to be quality assurance activities all through. There should be quality culture. Towards quality assurance, what is needed? One is commitment. It is not the commitment of the management alone. It is not the commitment of the principal alone. It has to be the commitment of everybody, all stakeholders together. Teachers, students, the management, the principal, the parents. Everybody has to be totally committed towards the institution's cause. Team building and teamwork. Okay, again, it is again, you need to actually work as a team. Only then you can succeed. But unfortunately, if there are 4 people in the department, there are 5 groups. So team building becomes a question mark. That should never happen at all. Third is planning the quality assurance activity. We'll have to arrive at an institutional quality model. We'll have to see that there is a discipline of continuous improvement. If there are 15 PhDs awarded this year, next year it should be 18 PhDs. If you have 150 publications this year, next year it should be 200 publications. There should be continuous improvement. There should be willingness to adopt changes. Somehow we find that we are not very, very much willing to adopt changes. If there is a change, we always try to resist. Okay, so but willingness to adopt changes is what is needed. And our march should be towards excellence through strategic planning. And we'll have to also meet global challenges. So these are all the things which actually are needed toward quality assurance. Now, what is the general accreditation framework all about? NAAC says that every institution should contribute for national development. Every institution should be able to foster global competencies among students. We are not preparing our students for Karategambatti, we are preparing them for Canberra. We are not preparing for Hosur, we are actually preparing them for Houston. So we have to inculcate value system among students. Values are going for 6 now. Promoting the use of technology. Students are much better than teachers in the use of technology. If you give a mobile phone, we can find out the age of a person. With the way the person is struggling, we can easily find out whether he's 50 plus or not. The boys are well versed with technology. Sometimes the students are ahead of teachers in the use of technology. Quest for excellence. Of course, that is the last priority for most of the institutions, because there is a kind of rat race which is actually taking place. So what is actually quality assurance? Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, quality assurance does not happen by accident. You have to carefully plan it. Quality is not any single thing. It's an aura, it's an atmosphere, an overpowering feeling that the institution is doing everything good. there should be continuous improvement, as I said some time back. Please remember one thing, you need to have two things. One is we have to ensure compliance. Whatever UGC says, we have to say yes. Whatever Ministry of Education says, you have to say yes. Whatever Tamil Nadu, Higher Education Ministry says, you have to say yes. Whatever Bharat Diyar University says, you have to say yes. Whatever Tansky says, you have to say yes. So we have to probably ensure compliance to all these regulatory authorities. Andavan solra, Arunachalam Seyra. We need to really obey. Then we have to also ensure regular improvement. This is another thing. These two things are needed for a quality output. Now, what are the inputs that we need? We should have quality students. Quality students will be, attracted towards an institution only if you have a quality system. You must have a curriculum. When the majority of the institutions are given autonomous, status now. But if you look at the standard of the syllabus and other things, they are far from what is actually desired. So you need to have proper curriculum. Faculty should be of international repute. You must have laboratories, computing facilities, library facilities, state-of-art facilities. Okay, you should have processes. You must have good institutional facilities. There should be a good support system. So all that should be there. Only then you will have a good graduate with greater outcomes will be emerging from the portals of the institution. We need to do the assessment, take their feedback back and improve upon the system. This is the kind of quality assessment model that I'm suggesting for an higher education institution. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remember one thing. There is a revised accreditation framework in force as far as NAAC assessment accreditation procedures is concerned. There is actually a shift from qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative evaluation. Earlier, we used to submit an SSR. Mostly, it will be focusing only on qualitative aspects. A team will come. We used to give the team the best possible hospitality and all that, from Hyderabad biryani to Ambur biryani and all that. The team also will be very much impressed and all that they used to give. Now, there is an evaluation only to the extent of 30% based on the peer judgment. 70% is actually only on data that you are submitting. But unfortunately, many institutions are not able to give the data. Even if you ask the strength of the college, the principal's office will give you one figure. Controller's office will give some other figure. If you ask the HODs, they will give some other. If you ask the teachers, they will give you some other strength. So the strength will vary from person to person. We are not able to give the data correctly. That is one thing. Then towards simplification of the process. Earlier, we used to have 300 plus questions and all that. Now it is 115 questions only, 96 for the colleges. Then they have introduced pre-qualifier for the peer team visit. 25% mark should be there at least, not 30%. Now, introduction of system-generated score. Online evaluation is to the extent of 70%, peer judgment to the extent of 30%. Introduction of a third-party validation of data. Data validation verification mechanism is there. DVV procedure is there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that there is a quality indicator framework. Now, what is that framework? So, there are 7 aspects. Probably you would have been hearing it for quite long. Since yesterday, people have talked about all that. I'm not going to talk to you about the 7 criteria. The first criteria is 150 for the autonomous colleges, 100 for the affiliated colleges. The weightage for the second criterion is teaching, learning, evaluation, 300 for autonomous colleges and 350. And research, innovation and extension, 150 for the autonomous colleges, 110 for UG colleges, 120 for the PG colleges. Then infrastructure and learning resources, 100 marks. Student support and progression, 100 marks. Then for autonomous colleges, 140 for the affiliated, UG college, 130 for the PG college. Then governance, leadership and management, 100. Institutional values and best practices, 100. So all this actually add up to 1000. So this is the criteria-wise weightage that we have. Please remember one thing, if you are not able to score in 1, 2, 3, you cannot dream of getting A at all. If you want to have A grade, you have to concentrate on the first 3 criteria so much, because that actually added together comes to 600 marks. Okay. So please remember that you have to concentrate on first 3 criteria, just like then the 4th criteria will be concentrated by the management. 5th again will be taken care of with the students, and the 6th again is your management's and principal's role. And 7th, we have to probably all together, join and do it. So this is the kind of allocation that we have among ourselves, among the stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 criteria, and there are 31 to 34 key indicators. There are 2 different types of metrics. One is qualitative metric, other one is quantitative metric. So quantitative is 35, for which you need to have some stories written. Quantitative metrics, they are asking for proof for everything. And total metrics is 107 for autonomous, 93 or 96 for the affiliated colleges. So what is the actually difference? There is a Korandapatcham Aru Vityasam you have. Earlier we used to have letter of intent alone. Now you have IAQA, institutional information for quality assurance. Only if IAQA is accepted, you can have your SSR submitted. If it is not so, you cannot. There are 7 criteria. There is a change in the nomenclature for 3rd and 7th criteria now. There are 32 key aspects earlier. Now it is 34 and all that. See, there is a change, as I told you. Number of questions, again, there is a change. SSR submission, we used to give hard copy. Now there is no hard copy at all. Evaluative report, there is a evaluative report. That is actually, I'll tell it a little later. Validation, data validation verification is done through a third party. There is a student satisfaction survey now. And benchmarking is applied for all quantitative metrics. There is a system-enabled selection of peer group. Peer team report is actually restricted to qualitative metrics, QLM. There is no peer team document as such. Okay. Peer team for qualitative aspects will give. That's a different thing. Penalty of more than 15% deviation in verification is found. Now, if you look at the new things that are actually being emphasized, one is they are asking for a teacher profile. How many of your teachers are having DSc, PhD, etc.? So please remember that if you are recruiting teachers, you please recruit with PhD only. Then your score will go up. Even if you are recruiting management teachers, okay, teachers under management salary and all that, please recruit teachers with PhD only. Then your score will go up. 1. Second, there is student satisfaction survey. You need to conduct 2 or 3 mock exercises for student satisfaction survey also, because there are 21 questions, and the 21st question you have to write in words. The students are actually well versed with WhatsApp, Twitter and all that. They cannot write a sentence properly. You have to probably train them. You have to tell them and all that. So that is actually student satisfaction survey. Then there is a thing called innovation ecosystem. Okay, they are asking about alumni engagement. They are asking about institutional values and social responsibilities. They are asking about institutional distinctiveness. They are asking about outcome-based education. They ask you to prepare an examination manual. They are asking about publication per faculty, projects per faculty, institutional seed money that is given for research to encourage the research, projects from non-governmental sources, startups, revenue generated out of corporate trainings, e-governance. All these things are actually asked. Now, these things were not there earlier. Now they have slowly started asking such things. Please remember one thing, there are several stages in the process of accreditation. First one is you will send an application from the higher education institution for accreditation in your institutional portal. You will submit certain data for IAQA. Once some basic information about the institution is actually asked in the IAQA. If IAQA is submitted, then you cannot have these data changed. So whatever basic data that you have given in IAQA, that is actually final, you cannot alter it. Once you submit your IAQA, number of faculty, number of students, all these things cannot be changed at all. So please remember that you finalize your SSR, then submit your IAQA, because once you submit your IAQA, within 45 days, you have to submit your SSR. They'll give you only one extension. Probably you have to tell such stories like your IQAC coordinator is having suddenly a corona and all that. Then they will probably give a 1 week time and all that. But what I would suggest is you please finish your SSR, complete your SSR, complete the preparation of SSR, then go for IAQA submission. The moment SSR is actually uploaded, you will immediately have the student satisfaction survey started. At 5 o'clock, SSR is submitted at 501, the triple S will start. So please remember that student satisfaction survey will go to the students. It will go to their mail ID. Okay, don't think that you can manipulate the ID of the students and all that. Okay, NAAC is really watching, so such people will be caught. So it has to be from different IPs. So students have to actually necessarily log in from their phones or iPads or other things, and then they have to fill in the survey form. Okay, then there is data verification validation exercise is there, that is actually done by a third party. Then following that, they will say that your institution is pre-qualified, and upon receipt of this pre-qualification certificate from NAAC, peer team will come within about a month's time and all that. Then within about 4 to 5 days, you will have the assessment outcome normally done. If there is actually a distinct difference between the peer team evaluation and quantitative scores and all that, so the NAAC has got the right for revisit or to look into the things once again. That's a different thing. Okay, now these are the various stages you have in the process of accreditation. Now, what are the various metrics with high weightages? Percentage of new courses introduced, the total number of courses across all programs during the last 5 years. The weightage is 30 weightage. So what are the new courses that you have introduced in the last 5 years? Then you have online student satisfaction survey regarding teach and learning process, that is 30. Any two best practices, 30 marks. Then like the NAAC provided format, they will ask for evidence of certificate, then drawbacks or the difficulties experienced, the background, all that they ask. So in that format, you have to give the two best practices. Percentage of programs in which CBCS is implemented, that is 20 marks. Percentage of programs where syllabus revision is carried out during the last 5 years, that is 20 marks. Then about program outcome, course outcome, that is 20 marks. Then performance of the institution in one distinctive area, that is actually 20 marks. Then average percentage of placement, that is 15 marks. Percentage of recently graduated students who have progressed to higher education, that is 15 marks. Bibliometrics, 15 marks. Then institutions H index and all that, 15 marks. Consultancy revenue, that is actually 15 marks. Number of research papers per teacher, that is 15 marks. Average number of days from the date of the last semester to the till the declaration of results, that is 15 marks. Average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned posts during the last 5 years, that is 15 marks. Percentage of teachers with qualifications like PhD, DSc, etc., that is 15 marks. So these are the metrics with high weightage. Now, what is to be borne in mind while you subject yourself to NAAC? Please remember to get your self-study report ready at the time of filing IAQA itself. Please do not make the mistake of filing the IAQA and start preparing the SSR. Get the SSR ready and then file your IAQA. That is the first thing. IAQA acceptance will be normally taking place in a week's time. But there will be some queries. For example, Erode Arts College. The official name, it is Erode College. In some other name, it is called the Erode Arts College. Okay, there may be variation. In some documents, they will say this is the Erode Arts College. In some documents, they will say Erode Arts College. So if there is such discrepancy, NAAC will ask for clarification, whether it is the Erode Arts College or Erode Arts College simply. So such things are to be really looked into before filing your IAQA itself. Okay, so UGC 12B document or 2F document or AICT document, all that should have the same name of the college. It should not be the Erode Arts College and Erode Arts College like that. Okay, time limit for SSR is only 45 days. On extraordinary circumstances, they give a extension also. Within seconds of SSR submission, student satisfaction survey will start. At least 10% of the current batch student should respond. Then the DVV by the NAAC partner will start within about 30 days. Then you have to reply to the DVV queries. You have to verify every document before you upload. You may think that there are certain nomenclature which you may be familiar with, but NAAC may not be familiar with. So you'll have to give abbreviation and all that. For example, the NAAC says CIA, Continuous Internal Assessment. You may probably call it as CFA, Continuous Formative Assessment. Or you may call it as internal test, IT. So you don't give IT because now NAAC's terminology for internal assessment is only CIA. Suppose if you say it is IT, NAAC is not familiar with. So whatever document that you submit should have the same terms and expressions used by the NAAC. People confuse course with programs. BCom, often we say he has joined BCom course, BSc chemistry course. NAAC terminology is BCom program, BSc chemistry program. Whereas organic chemistry is a course, inorganic chemistry is a course, financial accounting is a course, income tax, is actually what? Taxation is a course, taxonomy is a course. Okay, so we should be able to distinguish between what we routinely use in our college and what the NAAC actually uses. DV scrutiny is very thorough. They really go through every aspect of it. Every word of every document that you sign should have your principal signature. There will be at least 10,000 copies of the documents. In each of these 10,000, your principal should sign. They don't trust your management. They don't trust your secretary. They trust only the principal. So the principal of the college should sign in every page. Unless his signature and seal are given, the NAAC will not accept at all. So the scrutiny by DVV is very thorough. So please see that it is complete in all respects. When you scan the document, you don't please scan any document using your mobile scanner. Get a high quality scanner, okay, through your management, and then start scanning the documents. Because if after scanning, if there is no clarity in the document, NAAC will not accept it all. They'll simply omit such documents and then they will not award marks. You will be the loser. So get a good scanner for the college. So only when during the assessment time, okay, in the name of NAAC only, you can have your facilities increased. After the NAAC, your management probably will not be able to give you even a safety pin at all. Okay, so whatever you want, you say that for NAAC it is needed and get it. So that will be a kind of way to equip the college also. So only relevant documents will be accepted. See, suppose if they are asking for awards won by the teachers, and if you submit your Aadhaar card, will they accept it? They will not. They will only look for such documents which are actually relevant in nature. Only relevant documents will be accepted. Are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
English program.
Yes, sir.
Hope you are able to follow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, check twice or thrice before uploading the data in IAQA and extended profile. Anybody from other state is there, sir?
No, sir.
No. Okay, Tamil பேசலாம். ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லையே. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, what normally we do is about 5 to 6 people of IQAC only will be given the task of completing. அந்த நேர்ந்துட்ட 5 பேர் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, திருப்பி பண்றதுனால they will be able to what? I mean, correct. Even if there are wrong statements, their mind will correct. They will not be able to detect the errors at all. So you need to really check, or twice or thrice by somebody who is not connected with this process, so that he is able to find out the mistakes. IAQA cannot be changed after submission. Please do not think that you can bring a change. Sir, by mistake naanga pannitom, by an oversight has happened. NAAC doesn't accept. Once IAQA is accepted, whatever basic document that is given in IAQA cannot be changed after submission of the IAQA at all. Please remember that. For example, student strength. See, there are 12 metrics which will be affected by this student strength. So suppose if 3,450, in 12 places, this 3,450 will come as a denominator. So whatever data that is given in the IAQA, that will be confirmed. So that will be taken for your denominator. You cannot take 3,450 for one metric and 3,420 for another, 3,400 for the third, 3,380 for the fourth. Like that, you cannot have. You cannot change it. Okay, once it is finalized means for 12 parameters, okay, for 12 metrics, this, student strength will come as the denominator. Whatever you are giving in the IIQA will come as a denominator. Similarly, full-time teachers. 11 metrics will be given. For 11 metrics, it is actually given in the denominator. Number of teachers, number of projects per faculty, number of publications per faculty. For all this, the same number of the faculty that you have given in IIQA will be taken. So, whatever, whatever number you are saying in IIQA, the same thing you have to show here. You can't change it for one thing here, for some other metric, some other figure you can't give. Similarly, for the same institution, for ASHE they would have given, for All India Survey of Higher Education, they would have given one data. For NIRF, they would have given some other data, because NIRF, somebody else would have been the coordinator. IQAC will not do probably. So you should not have the same way. You should not, for the same parameter, you cannot have different values. For NIRF, you are giving some 80 teachers. For NAAC, it is 82. For ASHE, it is actually 78. You can't give. The same principal is signing all the three. So it has to be only one and the same number. So you can't have variation in the number of full-time teachers, number of students, etc. Again, total expenditure excluding salary, 3 places it comes. So you cannot change it. Okay, that is very, very important. Then what is the thing that you need to get before SSR? What are the things that you need? If your college is an autonomous college, Board of Studies constitution, Board of Studies proceedings, minutes of the meeting. There it should be said that syllabus is revised, because we don't really write the Board of Studies resolutions properly. Normally, the Board of Studies will start at 11 o'clock. It will end up with a biryani at 1 o'clock. So we don't really take much time to scrutinize what? The minutes. The external members will be in a hurry to collect the TADA and all that. So they will not also properly read sometimes. So we will be missing certain things. NAAC is asking for such things. On the basis of the feedback from the students, we have revised the syllabus. We introduce these courses as new courses. Like that, such phrases should be there. What is the evidence for introduction of a new course? They will ask. But your BOS minutes will not say anything about the introduction of new courses. They will ask for the revision of syllabus for the existing course. Your minutes of the meeting will not have any word called revised at all. So, syllabus pre-revised, post-revision, learning outcomes. The learning outcomes, again, it should be your OBE should have. We know about OB, but we may not be knowing much about OBE, outcome-based education. Okay, so when you ask about program outcome, course outcome, program-specific outcome, we are not able to write the outcome at all. Any outcome that you write should be measurable. Then it should be what? Observable. You must be able to, it should start with an action verb. You should not say the students will learn, students will understand. Such things should not be there. So you please validate your OBE statements before you publish. Then list of major subjects, elective subjects, non-major elective subjects, skill-based electives. Because you are saying that your institution is following choice-based credit system. We know there is no choice for the students nor for the faculty. Okay, many students are given only compulsory electives in many colleges. So all these things are there. But still on paper, at least we say it is only choice-based credit system. Though in reality, it is only chaos-based confusion system. Okay, now what is the feedback? They are asking about the student enrichment lectures, academic schedule. Okay, they are asking about calendar. Our calendar will reflect only the last date for the payment of fees, with fine, without fine, such things. They are asking about the academic schedule, timetable for students, work allotment for faculty, year-wise details of students admitted, that is second criteria, application versus admitted ratio, admission register, student profile analysis report, Even the bank has got know your customer program. We must have know your students program. How many of our students are first generation graduates? How many of our students are actually single child? So all such details are to be connectively. So we need to analyze their needs, aspirations, and then coin the syllabus and the courses for their use. List of slow learners, fast learners, remedial class programs, course materials, PPTs, e-content, faculty biodata, awards, honors by the faculty, student attendance, faculty attendance, internal assessment register, ESE statement received from the controller of examination, result analysis report, examination timetable copies, details of internship or industrial visits, student assignments and seminars. So all this belong to second criteria. Then third criteria, we need to have the thrust areas of research. List of scholars enrolled, scholar attendance, project proposal submitted, project reports completed, progress report of the scholars, PhD awarded list, PhD thesis, copies, hard copy, papers published, reprints, books authored, books edited, chapters in books, consultancy undertaken with revenue that is generated, extension activity reports, MOU signed, collaborations that you are entering into, conferences organized, conferences attended, conference proceedings, participants list in the conference organized. Okay, all this actually in category, criteria 3. And criteria 4 is physical facilities available, department library stock register, furniture, then other stock registers, equipment purchase orders, then during the assessment period, annual maintenance contract, if it is there, that is to be there, equipment logbook, department library issue register, central library registers, e-resources available, then mentor-mentee report, student progression details, placement details, student participation in sports and cultural activities, student association activities, alumni meeting, all this in criteria 5. In criteria 6, you have FDPs, orientation refresher courses attended by the faculty, minutes of the department level faculty meeting, department committee meeting if it is there, corporate social responsibility undertaken by the faculty, funds mobilized, training programs organized, innovative and best practices, innovative, distinctive practice, all that in criteria 7. Okay, so all these are the things which are needed. Now, for everything, you have a standard operating procedures. For example, they are asking for the program offered year-wise in the last 5 years. They ask for the brochure of the institution. I wish before you submit your SSR, you prepare the brochure for every program of study, at least 1-page brochure or 2-page brochure. Number of students enrolled during the last 5 years, prepare the list. Okay, number of outgoing final year students. Okay, the list of students for specific programs identified by DVV partner you have to give. For BCom general, what is the number of students, final year students, list the provide, give the list, they will ask. So you should be able to provide. Number of students appearing in the final examination year-wise during the last 5 years. Authenticated document showing the number of students who have appeared. They are asking for the controller's annual report. So controller of examination, in addition to preparing the examination manual, should also prepare year-wise annual report. Number of programs in all, number of courses in programs year-wise during the last 5 years. If the same course is offered in more than one program, it is to be counted as one. For example, base your Tamil language 1. For all 10 programs, you will have the same thing. 1 minute. Hello. Okay. So number of programs year-wise during the last 5 years. What is this? This English may be offered to all UG programs. What do you say? It should be taken as only one paper. Okay, it should not be for 7 programs. If they are offering English as a language 2, it cannot be counted as 7. It should be counted as only 1. That is 1. Then number of full-time teachers year-wise. A full-time teacher is one who is employed for at least 90% of the normal or statutory number of hours per work over a complete academic year. Please remember one thing. NAAC does not distinguish between a permanent teacher and a management appointed teacher. In the same aided college, you will have both streams, self-financing stream and aided stream. NAAC does not distinguish between aided and self-financing. Now, many of us, BCom, there will be two sections. One section will be aided, the other one is self-financing. You cannot show it as two departments. You can show it only as one department because the course will be the common. So NAAC does not distinguish that as a two department. It will be only as one department. Okay. So NAAC again does not distinguish between an aided teacher and a self-financing teacher. Please remember, they should be counted only as teachers. No, they cannot be categorized. They cannot be discriminated. Number of sanctioned posts year-wise. See, for example, for sanctioned posts of the aided stream, you will have a sanction letter from Joint Director of Collegiate Education. For those in the self-financing stream, the Secretary of the college will give the sanction letter. That is how it is actually given. Number of seats earmarked for reserve category. You have to provide the document from the Tamil Nadu government. It will be in Tamil. You have to give transliteration. Please remember, NAAC does not accept any document other than in English. Okay, no document can be submitted in vernacular language, in Hindi or Urdu or Tamil or Telugu or Kannada or Malayalam. They don't. If it is all in these languages, you have to give an equivalent version in English. So transliteration has to be done. Even certificates, brochures, communications, everything has to be only in English. So any letter from Tamil Nadu government, if it is in Tamil, provide a transliterated copy of it, certified your principal, attach it. Okay, so you will have to give this up. Again, please remember one thing, under the OC, you will have 50 of your BC also candidates. Sometimes the SC candidates also must have come in the OC. So you cannot include them. Okay, so you should be so those people who are actually admitted under SC category only should be listed as reserved. Okay, so those who are, out of merit, if they have come in the open, that should be shown only in the open category. Then classrooms and seminars, you have to give geotagged photograph. Then total number of computers, you have to give those computers which are actually used for the student purposes, not for administrative purposes. You have to give the, invoice, you have to give the stock entry, all that you have to give. Only then NAAC will accept. Then total expenditure, salary wise, you have to give. Claims made without audited income expenditure statement will not be considered at all. So everything has to be certified duly by the auditor. Any income has to be reflected in the income expenditure statement. Similarly, any expenditure by the college should also be listed under the income expenditure statement of the college. Now, multiple count of the same program is to be avoided in percentage of program with syllabus revision. For example, a paper is actually revised. It may be for BCom regular, BCom evening college. It is counted as only one. Okay, you can't multiple count of the same program, should not be there. Employability, entrepreneurship, you will have to give the details. Suppose if you say that you are having organic analysis. Okay, how this organic analysis is helpful for the students to gain employment? How does it help to gain entrepreneurship? That we have to probably say. So that is what is needed. Then again, under new courses, do not include project viva, practicals, add-on courses. These are things which are not to be included. Then percentage of programs under CBCS. Now, earlier they were saying that MPhil and PhD also to be included. Now, NAAC is convinced that MPhil and PhD need not be included because these are coming only under university. So, percentage of students doing internship projects, only current year data they are asking. They are asking for internship certificate, the first page of the internship report. Similarly, the project report they are asking. So, for every student who has submitted the internship report, you can kindly scan it and then upload it. Structured feedback. Only the syllabus feedback on the course they are asking. They are not asking about the toilet facility. They are not asking about the feedback on the water cooler, availability of nurse or doctor in the campus. Such things need not be there. So only about the academic feedback, curricular design and implementation alone they need. So please provide the format, The analysis, see, anything that you have, any feedback that you are having, it is not enough if you have just feedback. Based on the feedback, you should be able to generate a report. The report should be able to, you should be able to submit to the principal. Principal should really have some not action take, submit to the management. And then they must direct and give a action taken report. So ATR, all these things, all the 6 things should be there. So along with the action taken report, you have to mention everything. Then students from other states, now it is not there, it is actually taken out. Then demand ratio to include MPhil and PhD. Seats filled against reservation, only number of actual students admitted to be given. Okay, general quota that need not be given. The government order has to be attached. Okay, that is a thing. Okay, then student teacher ratio, you'll have to check it with NARF data. Then differently able students, you'll have to give with certificate. Okay, percentage disability. Teachers using ICT, self-attested list of teachers using ICT should be there. 1 PowerPoint. Okay, 1 PPT per teacher. Then mentor-mentee list to be given. Full-time teachers. Then full-time teachers with PhD. Teachers who have won the national awards. Exam results, COE report. Then pass percentage, it should include MPhil, PhD. Then grants received. Then facilities. Seminars, for every seminar, you have to give the report, the photos, then what? Certificate, everything. If it is an award, again, you have to give the award letter, brochure, e-certificate of the award. All these things actually are to be noted. Then extension, individual awards are not to be considered, only the institution award is actually to be considered. Then MOU, functional MOU they are asking. They are not asking for the list of MOUs alone. They are asking for the activities under this MOU. Then budget allocation, it should have the balance sheet, income expenditure statement. Similarly, per day for the library, register entries. They
Sir,
were
excuse me.
I'll wind up, don't worry. So
Yes,
physical
sir.
facilities, scholarships. Then again, like that, they are asking for all these things. Please remember one thing, that NAAC is asking for the data to be compressed to 5 MB data. If the higher education institution data exceeds 5 MB, you'll have to provide link to the website. See that the link is actually getting opened. Any document which is there in the regional language, that has to be translated that into English. Okay, this is the screenshot for the QLF, and this is actually this is how it will all look like. Then this is the data template. This is how it will look like. This is the score sheet that you will get. For high performance, you will get a graph like this. For a low performance, it is actually shown here. This is the graphical representation that you are having. Then this is the graphical representation for the weakness, strength, and all that. The need of the hour, I just would like to say, please implement OBE. You must have a relevant curriculum. You must have an updated curriculum. There should be flexibility. There should be uniqueness in the curriculum. Inclusion of cross-cutting issues should be there. There should be focus on employability and skill development. There should be focus on value-based and value addition components. Stakeholders' satisfaction should be there. You must have an academic calendar which should be strictly adhered to. Novel teaching methodology should be there. Foolproof examination system should be there. Quality research we must undertake. There should be sustained funding. IPR awareness should be there. Effective linkages with society should be there. Good infrastructure should be there. Incentive for students should be there. Nice governance should be there. Strategic plan should be there. You must have periodic administrative and academic audit done. Good practices should be there. Green practices should be there in the institution. Institution should have distinctiveness also. If you have all this, probably you will have the highest weightage of A++. If you have their CGPA 3.76 to 4.00. Last week, I was in Chhattisgarh for a NAAC peer team visit. The SSR was not really prepared well, but they were able to show more than what they had projected in the SSR. Please see that you meticulously compile all the data about the institution, and see that it is also reflected in SSR. Otherwise, your institution will lose the credentials, so will lose the credit. So with these few things, let me wind up my lecture. So let me again tell you that Is this
Any queries from the
if
participants?
there is any queries, I'll be happy to.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please tell me, madam.
I'm Dr. Revati from Chelamal Women's College, sir. I have just two questions.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, introduction of new courses or add-on courses பத்தி சொல்லிருந்தீங்க sir. I am from Chelamal College. It is affiliated to University of Madras.
Yeah.
So affiliated collegesல new courses and diploma courses வந்து எப்படிங்க சார் பாசிபிள் ஒன்னு?
இல்ல நியூ கோர்ஸ் இது வந்து affiliate. I have taken the template which is actually common for everybody, university,
Okay.
autonomous college and all that. See, in the case of your affiliated colleges, new courses irukadu. The question will not be there at all. Don't worry. Okay. The format itself, it is not there. But there are affiliated colleges which have add-on courses. Okay. Even value-added courses people are actually offering. Suppose if a person is actually interested, the college can have tie-up with Tally and offer Tally as a subject to the BCom courses beyond the working hours. Such things are actually being, in the case of non-autonomous colleges also, such things are actually experimented. So if it is a government college, there is no scope for such things. Okay, but there are aided institutions which are non-autonomous in nature. They have add-on courses, they have value-added courses. Value-added courses is one which is actually offered beyond the working hours for 30 hours duration. Okay, so such things are actually experimented by the non-autonomous institutions also. One. Any other question, madam?
Yes, sir. Sports quota admission. Suppose ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் சர்டிபிகேட் வச்சிருக்காங்க. She falls under MBC category அப்படின்னா அவங்கள நாங்க MBC கேண்டிடேட்டா கன்சிடர் பண்ணணுங்களா இல்ல she should be put under general category?
ஜெனரல்ல வராதே ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ். அதுல அந்த ரெஸ்பெக்டிவ் கேட்டகரி தான் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. கவர்மெண்ட் நார்ம்ஸ் என்ன சொல்றாங்களோ அது பண்ணிடுங்க. If the government says that sports quota people to be included in the respective the quota போடணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா அதுல போடுங்க. Whatever government says is final. Okay, NAAC does not go into the nuances of it. NAAC wants to only find out whether social justice is ensured in the institution. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Beyond that, NAAC does not go into the details.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
அப்புறம் anything else? வேற ஏதாவது இருக்கா? நான் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் வேகத்துல ஓடிட்டேன்.
If possible,
Last
please
batch
share the
பண்ணு.
PPT, sir.
Sir,
சொல்லுங்க.
one more query is there.
Tell me. Chat box இருக்கா? Anybody else?
Sir.
Please.
Sir, could you please tell me few examples for participative learning and experiential learning, sir?
Very good. So, பாருங்க, there are umpty number of teaching methods, sir. நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா சாக் அண்ட் டாக் தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். இல்ல என்ன சொல்றான், ஆக்டிவ் லேர்னிங்ன்றான், கோஆபரேட்டிவ் லேர்னிங்ன்றான், கேம் பேஸ்ட் லேர்னிங்ன்றான், ரோல் பிளேன்றான், கேஸ் ஸ்டடீஸ்ன்றான், ஓகே ஃபோக்கஸ் குரூப் டிஸ்கஷன்றான், பிரெயின் ஸ்டார்மிங்ன்றான், ப்ராஜெக்ட் பேஸ்ட் ஸ்டடின்றான், அப்படி நிறைய இருக்கு. எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஷியல் லேர்னிங் அப்படின்னா த்ரூ இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் ஒன் கேன் கிவ் லேர்ன், த்ரூ இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் விசிட் ஒன் கேன் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ், even practical classes are experiential learning. So these are all the experiential learning. Through seminars, through brainstorming sessions, suppose if you are engaging a class, okay, that is actually participative learning. You make the students also do it. A flipped classroom, okay, that's a participative learning. Okay, you give the a task to the students, task-based study. That is actually what? A participative learning. So that is the difference between experiential learning and participative learning. Solunga madam. Anything else?
Sir, I'm Prakash from Vasavi College.
Prakash.
Can you cite two examples for best practices to be practiced in the college?
ஒரு பிரின்சிபல் கேட்டாரு, நீங்க நிறைய நாக்கெல்லாம் சொல்றீங்களே, ரெண்டு பெஸ்ட் பிராக்டிஸ் சொல்லுங்கன்னாரு. நான் சொன்னேன் உங்க காலேஜ் எடுத்து கேட்கறான், சேதுராமன் எடுத்து கேட்கல அப்படின்னு சொன்னேன். நான் see a practice which enhances the academic output of the college, which enhances the visibility of the college, which actually ensures the participation of all stakeholders, is a best practice. Medicinal plant, அது best practice கிடையாது. MAAC preparation, that is not actually a best practice. Suppose ICT based teaching அப்படின்னா, that's actually a best practice. You are enhancing the visibility of the institution by participating, by making the students, teachers, everybody participating. There is a quality enhancement because of the ICT based teaching சொல்றீங்க. That is one thing. Outreach activity. Okay, outcome. For example, Saint Teresa's College at Kochi, போனீங்கன்னா ட்ரோப்னு வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ட்ரோப் இது தெரிசா ரூரல் அவுட்ரீச் ப்ரோக்ராம்னு. They take villages as their laboratories. They start doing what? Practicing whatever they have learned in the lab. So lab to land initiative இருக்கு. That is enhancing the visibility of the institution. So stakeholders participation இருக்கு. ஒரு end userக்கு ஒரு benefit இருக்கு. So that is actually a kind of best practice. So இந்த மாதிரி a practice which enhances the visibility of the institution, which actually enhances the quality of the institution through effective participation of all stakeholders is actually the best practice. வேற என்ன சார் வேணும்?
சார் காம்படிட்டிவ் எக்ஸாம்ஸ்க்கு ஃப்ரீ கோச்சிங் கொடுக்கிறது பெஸ்ட் பிராக்டிஸா சொல்லலாமாங்க சார்?
சொல்லலாம், பட் provided all students participate and you are able to show an evidence of success. 10 பேர் ஐஏஎஸ் எக்ஸாம் பாஸ் பண்ணா, 15 பேர் யூபிஎஸ்சி எழுதுனா, 500 பேர் பேங்க் குரூப் 1 எல்லாம் எடுத்து வந்தான் அப்படிலாம் சொன்னீங்கன்னா இட் இஸ் an evidence of success.
ஃபைன் சார். ஒன் மோர் கொஸ்டின் சார். ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் வந்து 2 இதுக்கு வந்து எவிடன்ஸா இது பண்ணலாமாங்க சார்? இப்ப கிரீன் பிராக்டிஸ்ல ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் இருக்கு, அதே இன்னொரு கிரைட்டீரியால கேக்குறாங்கன்னா ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட்
ஸ்கேன் வராதே சார், அப்படி வராதே.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே.
சில பேர் எதை கேட்டாலும் அதே தான் கொடுக்குறான், அது வேற விஷயம்.
நோ சார், ஐ ஹேவ் ஒன்
டவுட். சொல்லுங்க
சார். இப்போ வந்து நம்ம விமன் சென்டர் வந்து ஒரு செமினார் வைக்கிறாங்கன்னா சார், அது வந்து லைஃப் ஸ்கில் என்ஹான்ஸ்மெண்டா 1லயும் காமிக்கலாம், 7ல ஜெண்டர் ஈக்விட்டிலயும் வரலாம் இல்ல சார்? இந்த 2 பிளேसेस
பண்ணலாமா? பட் சி ஒரு செஷன் அதுல இதா இருந்தா பரவாயில்ல. லைஃப் ஸ்கில்ஸ் மட்டும் சொல்லிட்டு பாய்ஸையும் அங்க சொல்ல வச்சுட்டு இங்க போய் ஜெண்டர் ஈக்குவாலிட்டி நிறைய சொல்ல முடியுமா? முடியாது. அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நிறைய பேர் மேனிபுலேட் பண்றாங்க. ஒரே ப்ரோக்ராம் சொல்லிட்டு 3 இடத்துல காமிக்கிறாங்க. That's not a good thing. அதாவது an expert is actually going through what will they think about the institution if you are going to show the same document in 2-3 places.
Yes,
they will think that you don't have enough activities to show.
Okay, thank you sir.
Sir, thank you sir.
Sir, extension activity பத்தி சொல்லுங்க. எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன்
சார் அவுட்ரீச் கன்சல்டன்சி ரெண்டு விஷயம் சார்.
ஃபைன் ஃபைன்.
கன்சல்டன்சி அப்படின்னா அவன் நம்மள தேடி வரான், அதனால we charge them, we we levy a charge, they pay us. Okay, அதான் இது கன்சல்டன்சி. நம்ம அவனை தேடி போனா சர்வீஸ் ஓரியன்டட் அவுட்ரீச் ப்ரோக்ராம், அது எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் ஆக்டிவிட்டி. 2 விதமான எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் ஆக்டிவிட்டி இருக்கும். ஒன்னு வந்து சப்ஜெக்ட் பேஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் ஆக்டிவிட்டி. நான் கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ஒரு டிஜிட்டல் இந்தியா ப்ரோக்ராம்காக ஐ ஆக்சுவலி டீச் தி பீப்புள் அபவுட் தி மொபைல் பேங்கிங். ஒரு ஹோம் சயின்ஸ் நியூட்ரிஷன் ஐ டீச் தி வில்லேஜ் விமன் அபவுட் தி புக்கிங் ஆஃப் தி கேஸ். ஓகே, மொபைல் புக்கிங் வச்சு கொண்டு சொல்றேன். தட் இஸ் சப்ஜெக்ட் ரிலேட்டட். என்எஸ்எஸ் ரிலேட்டட் ஒரு ஹெல்த் அவேர்னஸ், ஒரு ஆர்டிஐ அவேர்னஸ், டவுரி அவேர்னஸ், ஆல்கஹாலிக் ஈவில்ஸ், இதை பத்தி அவேர்னஸ், இது சர்வீஸ் ஓரியன்டட். ஸோ 2 விதமான எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் உண்டு. சொல்லுங்க சார்.
சார் இட்ஸ் கெட்டிங் டைம் அப்.
யாருக்கு? உங்களுக்கா பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ்க்கா?
இல்லைங்க சார்.
சொல்லுங்க.
The next session is resource person is online.
ஆமா கொடுங்க. let us not வெயிட்ங்க.
ஒரே ஒரு டவுட்.
so I think my மொபைல்ல எல்லாம் இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். 9443021565. ஓகே, சேதுராமன் காந்திகிராம்னு போட்டா வரும். if you want anything you please mail me, I'll give you answer. Anyway, I thank the Erode Arts College people for giving me a chance to meet you all through online and share what little I know. Thank you all for your presence and patience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your excellent presentation, sir.
Thank you.
Your presentation has given the following takeaway.
சரியா கேட்கலமா? ஆடியோ எங்கேயோ ஒதுக்குது.
Sir, your presentation is really excellent, sir. From criteria 1 to criteria 7, you have explained well, sir. We get many insight. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of IQAC of Erode Arts and Science College, we wholeheartedly thank you, sir. Thank you.
I request the organizers to kindly share his PPT in the group. Thank you.
Definitely, sir.
Dear participants, now we are in the technical session of teachers in enhancing the quality of higher education. We wholeheartedly welcome Dr. J. introduce today's work. Please, ma'am. Good afternoon. Welcome to attending this session. It's given me an immense pleasure to welcome and introduce Dr. J.K. He is well versed in Tamil, English, Telugu, Malayalam, and Hindi. Teaching field. He has published more than 50
national and international level conference, and also many books was published by our chief guest. He has completed UGC funded research projects in the year 2012, and also he has completed 16 consultancy projects. Sir has organized International Congress on Climate Change, Territorial Classification, and Socio-Economic Crisis at Mexico on 2013. He has conducted various improvement of professional competence in Bharatdasan University and also Bharatiyar University. He has visited so many countries like Thailand, China, and Singapore. He is a member of Staff Selection Commission, UGC member in Research Project Selection Committee, life membership in Indian Economic Association, honorary member in Indian Society of Labor Economics, membership in Association of Economists of Tamil Nadu. Sir worked as a Vice Chancellor nominee of University Affiliated College. He is worked as a member of many colleges and universities. He is worked as a member in Peninsular Economist. He has served as a member in more number of doctoral committees. Sir, served coordinator UGC merged scheme 12 plan. Sir has lot of administrative experience like director of CCCD of Bharatdasan University. Sir has served as coordinator International Collaboration Cell. He has involved in contribution to education invitation, designing of new courses, and frame updated curriculum and etc. He has conducted many extension work and community services to the needy people. Sir has adjudicated more number of theses in various colleges and various universities. My profound gratitude to esteemed Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, and IPSC Coordinator Ma'am for giving this opportunity to introduce such a versatile personality to glittering the knowledge on role of teachers in enhancing the quality of higher education institutions. A resource person, Dr. J.A. Arul Chellakumar Sir. Thank you.
Arul sir, the diocese is yours.
Hello. Am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Shall we
Yes,
start
sir.
our
Please, sir.
session, please? Let me at the outset say good evening, good afternoon to the NAAC Committee Director, Sharmaji, and also the expert persons like Dr. Ponnudiji and other illustrious speakers from NAAC, and my good friend Professor Seduraman, and my dear friend IQAC Director of Erode Arts and Science, Dr. Muruganandam, my good friend, Dr. N. Mani, Professor and Head of the Department of Economics, and also the other organizing committee, right from the management, staff, and non-teaching fraternity of Erode Arts and Science. In organizing this very illustrious workshop, I really appreciate and congratulate the organizing committee, for it is very, very valuable at this time. And I also welcome the participants, the illustrious member participants, delegates across the state and outside states. Let me once again wish you all a very good afternoon. At the outset, I beg your pardon because I am away in a kind of a remote corner, as I was on a sudden sad news about my family. One of my family members passed away. I had to attend the funeral, and I'm just taking shelter under one accommodation, and I'm getting connected to you all. And I will surely pass on my PowerPoint presentations to you, to the organizing committee, to be shared with you. I don't know the coverage area here. Coverage is both weak, and I think if I start uploading, it may take time. And so I would right now be very, very audible through my lecture, and I will forward my PPT to the organizing committee once I come to a sound coverage area. So, dear friends,
Sir, excuse me, is it possible to switch on your video?
Vida, okay.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, thank you, sir.
Yes. So I'm supposed to share with you some of my deliberations on the role of teachers in enhancing the quality of higher education institutions, especially this year 2022, that marks 75 years of constitutional democracy, 25 years of economic liberalization, and 15 years of accelerated educational. But each of these, is a milestone in itself on the road to India's success. And the final one, that is the accelerated educational reforms, is perhaps the most momentous for India at a time when the world's oldest civilization, that is India, is also the celebrity as the youngest nation of. And today, the median age of India's 1.38 billion strong population, is mere 32, a good 10 years lower than most other nations in the world. Today, India is the largest contributor to the global workforce, and its working age population, as you all know, surpassing 950 million. India has emerged to be the world's third largest economy, of course, from the fourth largest economy some 10 years ago. We have now moved to third place, an achievement underpinned, no doubt, by its unique demographic dividend or advantage, whatever you call it, but also a prospect that would not have translated it into reality if not for the country's pioneering reforms in university education over the past 15 years. And India has created a widespread access to low-cost, high-quality education for students at all levels, with well-planned expansion and a student-centric learning-driven models of education, as my good friend Professor Seduraman had listed out and pointed out. India has improved its enrollment numbers. I think GR is almost 50%. Enhanced its learning outcomes. Nearly 70 million students across this country passed out every year. And a differentiated three-tiered university system that has enabled universities to build on their strengths and cater across different categories of educational needs. The effective use of technology that has come so very handy today. India has started a bridging between excellence and equity. As a result, today, as I told you, India's 70 million student population, there's a force to reckon with. Among them are many potential thought leaders, researchers, academics, politicians, business people, entrepreneurs, and whatnot, positioned at the helm of knowledge creations at their own space of life. As I told you, among them are entrepreneurs, executives of the future, industry-ready people who are highly sought after. From among them, India emerges as a massive workforce. The engine actually that is capable of generating almost $5 trillion people. As we are very much planning to improve from $2.8 trillion to $5 trillion, we may be soon reaching $5 trillion targets. And our universities today don't face a shortage of academics ready to be recruited as faculty, just as our industries find adequate talents that can be inducted with minimal onboarding. True that we have, of course, challenges. As I had told you, the three-tier Indian universities that produce the best-in-class knowledge creators, maybe the IITs, IIMs, and ICSSR, UGC-funded research institutes, maybe are the knowledge creators, problem solvers, and process managers who also display deep social, cultural, and ecological sensitivity, who are collaborative leaders and responsible citizens. And in effect, the Indian graduate of today is not only an excellent human resource, but also an admirable human being. And when we expect this kind of human being to emerge from India, we now surely can zero in on the profile of a teacher, a faculty, who is not just an instructor or a lecturer. He is actually the facilitator of learning and unlearning process for the student. Even as India deserves fully revealing its resounding success for the last 2 decades. Because remember that to maintain its position of leadership in the higher education across the globe. Of course, 20 years before we were nowhere in the top 100 universities. Now almost 23 universities have been listed out as top-rated universities across the globe. And we have 6 Nobel laureates from our own country for the past 15 years. It must be remembered that to maintain its position of leadership in higher education and our vision and commitment, as we did in the last 20 years, and our and our vision for the next for 2050, we may have to be very, very inquisitive. We may have to be longing to build a first-class teaching faculties, and these faculties must be empowered enough to deal with the younger minds of our country. so that they bring the nuts and bolts from, you know, what shall I say, for transformation of our country. And the Indian higher education system has undergone massive expansion to become the largest in the world, as I told you, the 70 million students passing out. Such an expansion, I mean, unimaginable without the extensive use of ICT among the teachers. That's what I'm saying, that the teachers must be empowered with the high technological skills and knowledge. As I told you, that these first class type of category of universities and colleges, educational institutions. The second one is central universities and state-aided universities who try to, build up a strong, uh, eligible and deserving students in the country who can have the quality programs, the unique levels with a good infrastructure, strong labs, which help them to tide over the problems that they face and the socio-economic, political environment, and even sociological. Riding the wave of urban planning, India earmarked tracts of land in many two-tier cities to create education cities, which have today emerged to be thriving inner city university campuses, tightly integrated with their host cities. And gone all those days that these universities were remaining as traditional universities, giving birth to unemployed graduates. Now we have moved to a state of an affair where try to build a close relationship with the host city and or embedded knowledge ecosystems that makes an Indian student, uh, 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 pre-designed, having his curriculum pre-designed, and was still outdated and seldom relevant. And dominant mode of instruction was information loaded. One way lectures from the teacher to be lectures from the teacher to the student. That's what I said, that a teacher is just not a lecturer. He is not just transforming the information. And in today's classroom, the student is an active participant. That's what Professor Seduraman has just mentioned. Participative learning. I think while answering a question, he said participative learning. When I was sent by the MHRD to Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, we could see this. The flipped classrooms we had there, and we could see the university students clustering together, discussing with the professors appearing on the screens, depending on their subject expertise and they have a two-way interaction with the staff appearing on the screens, and suddenly they go over to the industry experts. The faculties are having industrial experience, and industrially experienced peoples are faculties there, and they expose their problems in industry, why their industries are tending to be sick, which has been very, very successful all along, suddenly tumbling into a kind of a declination stage in a PLC, and why, and why, and why. And the data analysis, especially in social sciences. That's what I'm saying. See, number 2 category of universities in the country, like Tata Institute of Social Sciences or the ICSSR and UGC funded institutes like IAG and and the Gokhale Research Institute body, and ISEC, Bangalore, MIDS, Chennai, CDS, Ullu, like that, the advanced research institutes have taken upon themselves the challenges and problems that have been brought out by the society and the sociological needs, what the society needs to be addressed. And that's how the kind of a triangular educational structure I could see in Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, that the industries bring out their problems to the universities, and universities take them to their labs and work on it and get back with the problem solution, and the industry pays out the royalties to the government. Though it is a private university, the government sponsors this university education to an extent of 90%, 95%, sometimes 98%. So this kind of a triangular links I could see in Asian sort of higher education, which we may have to actually dream for ourselves in future. That's what I'm saying. The future teachers 4.0 must be 4.0 industrial revolution, right? 4.0 industrial revolution actually make our teachers to go more technical savvy with the high advanced skills of dealing with the students. And he is not just an instructor, as I told you, that he's a facilitator. And the instruction is designed to engage students in learning experiences, and that not only enable them to learn the content, but also to develop greater passion for learning. Greater passion for learning. That is why I used to say to my students that who is the great teacher? The great teacher is the one who makes a student to learn all by himself. Learn by himself. Learn to learn. That's very important. Enable them to learn to learn. And so they will be the lifelong learners. In the learner-centric paradigm of education, the students should be encouraged by the teachers to take greater responsibility for their learning. I think Professor Seduraman had listed out a few group tasks and individual tasks to how to, now we don't believe in lecturing methods. Even when going on lecturing, students are less enthused to listen. So what you are supposed to do, as I told you, as Professor has told you, that industrial visits or internship, or you work in groups, develop a kind of a cartels, a kind of a Versace education. In German universities, we have seen Versace education. When I was a teacher, I have taken my boys to the industry, like BHL type of industries, where we have, for a pipeline, the valve, if the valve is to be thickened by the vernier caliper measurements by 0.04 mm, what is the cost escalated to it? In a kind of an LPP solutions, linear programming, problem solving. We try to estimate the cost. If the industry wants you to add 0.04 mm thickened valve entrance, then the cost is escalations, and how much cost is to be escalated, and what should be the price, and in what overall cost structure, and what will be the overall demand fetched by this increase in price, whether the elasticity function is, how far the supply elastic or demand elastic conditions play out there, or is it enough that the pipelines are produced with the present conditions of 0.04 minus thickened loss in the pipelines. This is how we manage to see when the engineers were talking to us. That's what I say. The engineers having the hands-on experience to be shared out to the students in the class, and the teachers, classroom teachers must be more industrious and have industrial experience to train students, to give them the practical knowledge in the name of group tasking or individual tasking, and they can They can be encouraged to be very, very reflexive and reflexive, and the students are very, very reflexive, and they are thoughtful learners, and learning from themselves is very, very important. Even in ordinary rural area, I have a lot more to learn from my students. I used to say, because a student comes from a village and he has 2-3 temples, maybe 100 years old or 200 years old or 1,000 years old. The temples he has, that boy alone knows the history of it, right? The cultural history or political history or habitual histories about the temples. So he becomes my book, and he becomes my professor. I would like to share with you one interesting example. When I went along with my friend who is a professor in fishery science and when we went for a fishing on a weekend, I tell you that for hours together we had pinned the earthworm in the needle, thrown into the waters, waiting for fishing water, waiting for a fish to be caught. I think hours together we were waiting, we hardly caught a fish. But we noticed a small boy of 7 years old from a slum, nearby fisherman slum, catching every 5 minutes one fish. He throws into the sea waters needle with the worm hoodwinked onto it. He catches a fish. So I was really wondering. I asked my friend, "You're a professor of fishery science, please come to me. We will go to the boy and see what wonder the boy does." When we went near him, he was throwing the needle into the waters and catching fish for every 5 or 10 minutes. Then I told the boy, what miracle you do here? Yeah? We are trying to catch fish, but once in an hour. But you catch every 10 minutes a fish. How is that possible? Then he told us, "Come on, let me see your worms, the prey for the fish to be caught." Then he take a look at it and said, "All your worms are dead, uncle." Then I told him, "We brought it live. In wet sand only we brought. But in the scorching sunlight, it got dry. The earthworm soil got dry, and the earthworms are dead. But yet we hoodwinked it into the needle and tried for the fish." Then he said, "No, uncle, you have to put the live worms." Then I asked him, "How you keep the live worms live for hours together?" Then he said, "This is how we keep the earthworms live, uncle." He was picking up an earthworm under his tongue, which he kept a lot of earthworms live under his tongue. Where will you get this knowledge? This boy has got a knowledge traditionally passed on from his grandfathers, that the earthworms can be kept alive under his tongues for hours together. He takes one earthworm and makes it half and put it into the needle and catch fish every minute, every 5 minutes, because the worm is, toddling, attracting the fish. Then I asked the university professor from fishery science, "My dear boy, the field has a lot of data. The professor may be a bookish man reading, but the field and research, active research only keeps the teacher more and more a learner. The teacher also is a learner, researcher, consultant, project maker, an earner, and help the nation build." That's very, very. So this is precisely what the example that I would like to share with you. How a teacher must be very, very inquisitive and like a peeping Tom to take the boys into the fields and get your hands soiled up along with them, so that when they soil their hands, they learn a lot from the fields. So, my dear friends, over the years, such an emphasis on learning has impacted the students and learning outcomes in ways that have far-reaching impact for Indian economy and society. So this all is linked to an economics. As you say that when you want your economics to be, uh, shifted from one truth to another, $1.8 trillion to $5 trillion. From $5 trillion, you want your income to be shifted over to $13 trillion. US is now $25 trillion economy. When we are planning to move in that lines, I think we may have to be more updated, and we may have to re-engineer the whole process of education, and not only education but also the extending arms to the agriculture, to the rural activities, and allied activities, agricultural allied activities, and industries, and not only industries, and make people very industrious. I'm seeing that the class of people here in Tamil Nadu more industrious, like the Kongu Mandal, the Kongus people, Kongu Mandala people are very industrious. They won't be idle. Similarly, also I have seen the other two commercial sections in the Tamil society, like Chettiars and Nadars, and they are actually now taking on a big challenge from other classes of commercial sides from northern sides, right? Marwaris and Gujaratis, Rajasthanis are making a tough fight to them, and even the farmers and merchants from Kongu region are not able to market up their produce in their own names and brands. It is all clustered, and in a wholesale economics, a person who has no ground real knowledge about the product has the rights now. As I had told you that the coal mining rights auction to a person who is running a pizza corner in Malaysia. A pizza shop owner, what does he know about the coal mining rights? He pledges all the coal mining rights with the banks for financial derivatives. It goes and goes and goes on, and generating money, loans, and at one point of time, we may not know with whom actually these coal mining rights are restricted. The real power producer may not have the rights to cull out the coal reserves from the coal mines. This is how the governments also go out of gears that make your economy get stumbled with a lot of macro level challenges. So this never happens in countries like Singapore or Malaysia also, and a few countries who are very systematically planning this. So even in United States, maybe a kind of crony capitalism being followed in several Commonwealth countries, where the capitalists also have certain cash that they know that their social responsibilities to the society. So we also have the corporate social responsibilities, of course. As I was a professor, and I was also the NSS coordinator, I could make some memorandum of understandings with corporates like BHEL to develop electronic incinerators to be installed in girls' schools to dispose, to burn up their sanitary napkins, which we found in project reports. It's a major stumbling block in students regular coming to the schools. So huge dropout of girl children that the easy disposal of sanitary napkins and burn up of these sanitary napkins help the girl children have their self-respect kept up, and they were finding it better to come to schools with their self-respect kept aloft. So, dear friends, these are some tips that I want to share with the teachers of my fellow fraternity across this particular part of country, that you can be an agent of change through the students. The students are the social, economic, political even agents, change agents. By stoking students innate curiosity and encourage them to learn it in self-directed ways, I think you can enable the graduates to be independent, critical thinkers, and as a result, it would enhance the quality of education, higher education, and in terms of countries' innovation capability and entrepreneurial ambition, and positioning our country very, very attractive in R&D hubs for dozens and dozens of multinationals. And secondly, the learner-centered paradigm has also helped India's thriving human resource base to keep pace with the changing needs of their work environment. Over the years, with the evolution of knowledge economy, learning and work have become inseparable, making constant on the job learning and upgradation indispensable. Trained to be active and adaptive, lifelong learners, and the Indian workforce is known to be very, very dynamic, agile, even in the face of disruptive progress. Take, for example, when the US.NET, when there was a global recession in 1991, when many parts of the world were nosediving with the socio-economic conditions made nowhere, gone into ruts, but Indian economics could make it straddle through these toughest times, of course, test of times, and could limp back to normalcy. And of course, we have challenges, continuous challenges being posed onto us in terms of Ukrainian wars and cryptocurrencies, and the reason, as I told you, that industrial revolutions, 3D print technologies and 4.0 industrial revolutions. But actually, the corona had made all these industrial upside down processes to be on a checkmate. But anyway, it will be actually coming back to the screens anytime. Looking forward to India to lead. That's what many countries are saying now. India should be playing a very lead in not only controlling the wars, in also redesigning the world's resource utilization and environmental controls and energy requirements, etc. Workforce, participation, all these things. We may have to make our students to go with a worldwide knowledge and all these aspects. I should not simply say, I was, when I was a team of the UGC expert committee when we were visiting one college, and the teacher was teaching physics. We were asking, what are you teaching? The gentleman was saying that I am teaching linear dynamics to the students. But the students were quite aware. Quite away from his audible region. And some students were talking among themselves at the rear end of the classroom. And even the lights were not on and the windows were not kept open. The young teacher was speaking by writing something on the book. And the expert committee, I think the former Vice Chancellor of Bharadas University, Professor Muthukumaran, and other two members of the three, I was also one among them. And Professor Muthukumaran asked him, whom are you teaching to? He said, sir, when the bell goes at 10 o'clock, I have to get into the class and start teaching physics, linear dynamics to my students. Those who have ears, let them listen. If they don't have ears, let them shut their ears and be inside the class or get out of it. This cannot be the attitude. This is precisely what we are talking about, the conscientizing the teachers to be more patriotic and student lover, learner centric, and make your classrooms go vibrant, bear fruits terms of, the students making themselves informed, and listened, and skilled, and become inseparable from your classroom exercise, and and and, uh, and upgrade their knowledge levels and skill levels, etc. So, my dear friends, and I think they say I have only 10 more minutes. So, the higher education today warrants the teachers to go more inclusive, and because the entrance or explosive increase in higher education, I've seen, uh, Birmingham City University is posting up an advertisement for joining MBA programs just in front of Laila College, Chennai, or Stella Maris, or Vaishnava, or Guru Nanak, or even Delhi University. So now the world has become as a global village that you may have to compete with the foreign professors who are very good in technology and data analysis, ground real facts being analyzed, and developed countries are working beyond their resources. Whereas the developing countries like us are enhancing, of course, existing infrastructure to cope with the demand, which is still falling with stools. That's a big challenge. I have been talking to you the strengths. Now I also given you the realities. Where do we have to go from here? And now the challenges. The globalization of education, booming online programs. How many of us are ready to take? Today, the courseware is open. Coursera. So many education institutions can keep their ICT open to tap these open online courses, MOOCs, and mobile learning and remote learning, etc. Actually, when the school education had almost banned the mobiles in the education system, the corona reopened the Pandora's box and took their phones inseparable and indispensable for children. Even the children at the LKG level and UKG level are getting used to the mobile systems for their online classes. So now, when you remove or pick away the mobiles from them, they will not allow you to take away their mobiles. Simply, you may have to just make a lot of compromising things with that. And I have seen in Dubai, when we look at mobile as a stumbling block for children, Dubai was looking at mobile as a stepping stone for them. When the teacher gets onto the classroom, he keeps his iPod on his desk and making all the children to take out their iPods on tables. Mobile, it's almost a mobile iPod as well. And the teacher gives a task and it appears on the screen of the concerned student. He answers, he types and gives back the feedback or answers, and he corrects. A kind of a knowledge transmission takes place in a very sound format over there. Where are we? Where are we? This is what is the question. So, my dear friends, we may have to be very optimistic, and that's what I'm saying. That the society is not just money-making society, selfish society. The society must have certain filial responsibilities. As I told, that father is the father of the child is a teacher, first teacher, and the teacher in the class is a second parent. This kind of an attitude, and this alone can. That's why the secondary education is number one in the world. Indian secondary education is number one in the world. Of course, undergraduate education is UK is number one. Higher education, United States. So ever increasing competitions. Universities competing for staff and students. research funding, partnerships. I already told you that partnerships and research funding in a triangular formula. So make your children, research scholars along with the staff, go out to reach out to the sick units. Make your commerce students work out with illiterate business people, business class of people to compute the GST. Help them to compute GST. Make an auditor, table auditor for them. And you earn. You help the businessman. So institutions investing heavily in ICT to support and maintain competitive positions. The governments, of course, can do a lot of things, but access, equity, expansion, quality and excellence have to be evolved, not over time. There must be a kind of a commitment towards quality, not only from the top level management or entrepreneurs, but also from teachers. Today, there's a scarcity of teachers with commitment, and the teachers who can build teams, team building, who can work as a team, who can plan for the quality assurance in all the activities, not only the teaching, learning, and evaluating processes, but also I used to tell my teachers in the refresher courses, I tell you, my dear teachers, the student-teacher learning process begins when the teacher steps out of the class. The students are watching you. When the teacher tumbles inside the class, of course, they look up to you for quality education, syllabus-oriented, content-oriented education, generation of content, fine. But when the teacher gets out of the class, also the learning process. So we may have to, in toto, arrive at an institutional quality model along with the a teacher-student management partnership and the discipline of continuous improvement and the willingness to adopt changes, marching towards excellence through strategic planning alone will help you meet the challenges at the global. And this will help you contribute to national development. Fostering the global competence among students. Inculcate the value systems among students. That's what I'm saying. Promote the use of technology and bring out a quest for excellence. And this is what the NAAC insists in all the 7, indicators, quality indicators, be it curricular aspects, or teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovation, extension, infrastructure and learning resources. You may have infrastructure, you may have learning resources, but the teacher must be using that infrastructure and the learning resources. Be a model for students. How many teachers know how to operate HPLC, HPTMLC? How many students do visit libraries? How many students do generate e-contents, resources? And I think there can be a pre-modulated lecture classes. You can play it in the class. Make a home studio at your home. Make 3 short classrooms, 3 camera, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, and institutional values and best practices. So, my dear friends, I think I could also come up to you when you have certain queries. I don't know how many minutes left, and new parameters also. NAAC is insisting that you should not say that today IQAC or NAAC make you more indulge in clerical works. You make your own profile, teacher profile, and student satisfaction surveys, and innovation ecosystem, alumni engagement, institutional values, institutional distinctiveness, outcome-based education components, and how many students from other states, and how do you make yourself more foreign language teaching, not vernacular. As Sedram has said, that you cannot submit your reports also in your vernacular language. So it should be only in English or in Hindi. I think whatever the government is insisting on. And also the examination manuals. So, my dear friends, along with all these things, your publication must be a publisher, perish attitude. The teacher must be a teacher, a researcher, a publisher, and he must be also a project maker, a project evaluator, and he must have to leave no stones unturned for searching the seed money for his research, and for non-governmental resources. You must tie up, have startups in your own campus. And for example, startups means you can start up even cooperatives, student cooperatives, entrepreneurial clubs, IECD clubs, have tie-ups with schools, college tie-ups. You can go to the schools to teach your basic sciences or data analytics or business entrepreneurship, and go out into a class 2 universities. Class 3 universities are more 3-tier. Last tier is more equity based education. That is a big challenge, efficiency and equity. Government is trying to bridge up this gap. So the third class of universities are trying to make up an equity. So you may have to, the third layered people should have to move to second layer. Second layer may have to move to the first layer. And to have time, the NPTEL portals are available with IIT. And MHRD also is very innovative with a lot of programs, get selected. Also, your corporate trainees, you can be a corporate trainees, and you can also assist your top level management in the e-governance. So the need of the hour is outcome-based education, relevant curriculum, update your curriculum, make yourself flexible, make yourself unique, make yourself, have a cross-cutting edges, make your focus on employability and skill development in the classroom in the college, make the value-based education and make it more efficient component, make stakeholder satisfaction upheld, and introduce novel teaching methodologies, transparent, foolproof examination system, quality research, and make sustained funding. If possible, the science people or even social science people can indulge in IPRs, patent right, intellectual property right developments, and have a strong linkage with the society around. And this is one thing we can be more world-class university institution in course of time. I stop here. I stop here, Mr. Mulandam.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your valuable input, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, any queries from the participants? Okay. We thank you, sir, for your efforts.
Okay.
Taken amidst the personal schedules. We have taken various actions regarding this. Thank you so much, sir. Let me go with the validity section of the workshop.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, Mani.
Thanks. So kindly share your PPT, sir.
Later I will try.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, let me start. Muruganandam, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. A very warm good evening to everyone who are connected in the virtual platform. for the 2 days NAAC sponsored national workshop on the preparation of roadmap for the quality assessment in higher education through NAAC assessment and accreditation. Yesterday and today, we had a good opportunity to interact with learned, experienced, and expertised professionals, and we acquire more knowledge on NAAC expectation in quality education from higher education institution. Now we have come to the validation section of the national workshop. I wholeheartedly welcome everyone for the valedictory function. Every successful program is built on 4 pillars: people, ideas, passion, and report presentation. I invite Dr. S.M. Jayasudha ma'am, coordinator, IQAC, Erode Arts and Science College, to present the report of the 2 days national workshop. Please, ma'am.
Addressing the report, the 2 days NAAC sponsored national workshop on preparation of roadmap for quality assurance in higher education through NAAC assessment and accreditation, organized by IQAC of Erode Arts and Science College on 28th and 29th August 2023. The workshop aimed at helping the higher education institutions to gear up to meet NAAC's process of assessment and accreditation. The workshop witnessed the participation of 108 academicians from 51 colleges affiliated to 8 universities in Tamil Nadu. Principals, IQAC coordinators, members of IQAC, and other learned professors were the active participants of the workshop. Besides the change of day and being a Sunday, 81 participants attended the workshop in our campus on day 1. With the grace of the Almighty, the event began. In the inaugural session, Principal of Erode Arts and Science College, Dr. R. Sankarasubramanian, welcomed the gathering, and the Secretary and Correspondent Sadhare Chairman K. Balasamy delivered the presidential address, and Director of Erode Arts and Science College, Dr. R. Venkatachalam, participated the occasion. The inaugural address was delivered by Dr. V.S. Ponuraj, advisor of NAAC, who highlighted the plight of higher education in India and the need for quality enhancement in higher education. The keynote address was delivered by our guest, Dr. S. Madheshwaran, Senior Professor of Economics, ISEC. He emphasized that all higher education institutions must give priority to quality enhancement, bearing in mind the 7 core values of NAAC. In the first technical session on demystifying the SSR preparation, the resource person of the session, Dr. V.S. Ponuraj, gave a crystal clear picture of the procedure to be followed for NAAC assessment and accreditation. In the second technical session on an interactive conclave on the crucial issues of NAAC accreditation process, Dr. V.S. Ponuraj addressed all the queries raised by the participants, and the session was highly interactive. On day 2, in the third technical session on effective documentation system for prompt and error-free data collection, the speaker, Dr. Piyush Pahale, elucidated what to document and how to document with practical exposure to all the participants. In the fourth technical session on outcome-based assessment and evaluation, the resource person, Dr. B. Vijay Kumar, gave a detailed presentation on how the assessment and evaluation can be made very effective. In the fifth technical session on nuances to be deliberated by preparing the IQA and SSR, Dr. M.G. Sejaraman vividly outlined the stages in the process of accreditation and the expected goals at every stage. In the sixth technical session, Dr. A. Arunchandra underscored the role of teachers in enhancing quality. All the sessions were highly interactive and the resource persons addressed the concerns and queries from participants very effectively. On the whole, the workshop provided a much needed among the participants and helped the organizing committee.
Yes.
Ma'am?
Sir, shall I continue?
Vote of
Yes.
thanks. Yes, sir.
Today's chief guest for valedictory function is Dr. K. Murugavel sir, Registrar in Charge, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore. Sir has held in urgent CM meeting at Chennai. Due to these administrative reasons, sir unable to join with us for valedictory address. Let we move to vote of thanks. I invite Dr. S. Muruganandam sir, member IQAC, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, to purport the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Greetings to all. This is Muruganandam, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, IQAC member of EUAC. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for the 2 days national NAAC sponsored national workshop on preparation of roadmap for volunteer students in higher education through NAAC assessment and accreditation. On behalf of myself and the entire fraternity of the institute, first of all, my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making this workshop a grand success. By His blessings and grace, we are able to make the event what it was. Event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required meticulous planning and bird's eye for the details. We are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated authorities and professors of our institution who are result-oriented. I, on behalf of IQAC, Yale Arts and Science College, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests. My sincere thanks to the man of success, our fellow secretary and correspondent, Sarajit K. also, sir, for giving us the opportunity to organize such a 2 days national workshop. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to our respected President, Honorable Adamaikan sir, President, the Honorable Educational Trust for his support and guidance. Thank you, sir. I express my gratefulness to the Director NAAC, Dr. S.C. Sarma sir, for providing us the financial assistance to organize and conduct this national workshop. My sincere thanks to the advisor NAAC, Dr. B.S. Kumudiyar sir, who delivered inaugural address and special address on demystifying the SSR preparation, a complete breakdown of NAAC, IF, and interaction session on an interactive conclave on the crucial issues of NAAC application process through online and clarified all the points raised by the participants. Really, he gave. Thank you, sir. Special thanks to the man who bridged NAAC and our institution for this national workshop and delivered the keynote address on prioritization of preparedness for NAAC application. The Senior Professor of Economics, Director of ISEC, Bangalore, Member of Planning Commission, Government of Karnataka, former Vice Chancellor of Gandhigam Global Institute, delivered Dr. S. Madheswaran sir. Thank you very much, sir. Principal Dr. R. Subramanian sir, for his model sustained leadership. Thank you, sir. I extend my deep sense of gratitude for the respected director and appreciation to IPC, Dr. R. Vinasam sir, for being the catalyst that stimulated us through our best in the standing as plus of strength. Thank you, sir. Let me thank the resource persons who have accepted our invitation and shared their knowledge and expertise during the technical sessions. I would like to thank the President of IPAC Cluster India, Dr. Piyush Pagade, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geology, the Boom Gujarati Kerala Mandals, Haribai B. Desai College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Pune, for the wonderful and informative session on the effective documentation system for crop and level 3 data collection. Really, it was very useful to the participants. Thank you, sir. I thank the Controller of Examinations, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, for his excellent presentation on outcome-based assessment and evaluation. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. M. G. Sridharan, sir, Professor of Chemistry, the Bharatiya Global Institute, for his excellent session on USS to be deliberated by preparing IEQ and SSR. Thank you, sir. I thank the retail professor of economics for the Sun University to Chapuli, Dr. J. Abdul Shabbat for his elaboration on role of teachers in enhancing the quality of higher education institutions. Thank you, sir. I am writing short of words to express my humble thanks to all the resource persons for rendering their minute-to-minute support at every point of time, which helped to improve the quality of higher education. All of you have provided us with valuable inputs during this workshop where we enlighten our knowledge. Thank you so much, sirs. I am very much thankful to Dr. K. Guru, sir, Register Lecturer of Bharatiya University, Kanpur, for his wishes on the volunteers address. We are grateful to the amazing panel members, Dr. N. Asita Meeser, Associate Professor and Head Department of Chemistry, Dr. N. A. Krishnamurthy, Associate Professor and Head Department of Corporate Secretary, Dr. S. Karthikeyan, Associate Professor and Head Department of Mathematics, Dr. M. Vedanathan, Controller of Examinations, Associate Professor of Electronics, and Dr. N. Mani, Associate Professor and Head Department of Economics, and Dr. E. Santosundaram, sir, Deputy Controller of Examinations. Conducting this event would now be impossible without the generous effort of our basic panel members who has devoted lots of time and energy for this program. Thank you, sirs. Special thanks to Dr. N. Mani, sir, who have taken a lot of efforts to bring out the young personalities to this workshop. I thank the IPC coordinator, Dr. S. M. Jayasudha, Assistant Professor of Business Management, convener of this workshop, for the guidance effects. No event can take shape without a hardworking leader. Was meditation and enthusiasm of our leaders. Thank you. A big thanks to all the members of organizing committee, Dr. P. Mohammed, sir, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Electronics, Dr. K. Marwari, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Dr. N. Kajimaro, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Dr. Mahani, member IPAC, Assistant Professor and Department of Business Management, Dr. M. Sarvakumar, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Economics, Dr. M. Ramanujan, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Corporate Secretary, Dr. P. Sriman, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, Mr. Rasendrakumar, member IPAC, Assistant Professor of Commerce with Computer Applications. All the members of the organizing committee put time out of their busy schedule to plan, organize, and oversee all of the events. Their work and energy made a difference. I deeply appreciate our organizing committee and all the members, wonderful volunteers. Thanks to all the organizing committee members. Everyone being up, let's not forget the backbone of this event. I thank all the committee members of aided and unaided from their involvement. They are highly committed. They have expressed today on the completion of the work beyond their comfort zone. They make an extraordinary and work with their daily off under the guidance of the organization committee, made all be and unity. Thank you so much, everybody. I take this opportunity to thank the faculty members of Undergraduate Street, Blessed Arizona, Dr. B. Vidya, Mrs. Mira, Mrs. Anachuri, Mr. Senema, Mrs. Yamada, Mr. N. Nagaraj, Mr. S. Navadula, Mrs. K. Pariam, Dr. Rajesh, Dr. J. Gopina, Mrs. D. Priya, Mr. P. Nakatma, Dr. M. Sivakumar, Dr. Eva Bhavaraja, Mr. P. Singaroy, Mrs. S. A. Sindhu, Mrs. R. Sati, Dr. L. Victoria, Mrs. P. Revati, Mrs. Kyaranya, Ms. C. Vishnupriya, Ms. S. Dhoni, Mrs. K. Chola, Ms. L. N. Satikula, Mr. R. Karthikeyan, Mr. M. Sehgal, Mr. P. Balaji, and Dr. K. Muthukumar for their contribution and various committees for the successful smooth conduct of this workshop. Thank you, teachers. I extend my deep sense of gratitude to all the head teachers, senior professors, and faculty members and the non-teaching staff of both the aided and unaided of our institution, principals, faculty members, IPSC coordinators, IPSC members from various institutions who are making this event a grand success and memorable with your active participation. Furthermore, let's have a special recognition for all the volunteers for the administration in general for helping us with possible logistics support towards organizing this workshop. Also, I would like to thank the system admin, Mr. Margaret, and the admission, Mr. Suresh, for their cooperation and support. I would also like to thank the people who worked behind the scene to make this workshop happen, our technical team, administrative team, and the hosting team. Thanks a lot to all directly and indirectly involved in this program. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us today and helping us make this workshop a grand success. Thank you and all. Jai Hind. I request any two participants online to give a feedback about the workshop.
Myself, I'm Prakash from Sri Vasavi College. Thank you for introducing. I'm Dr. Prakash from Vasavi College, sir. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay. Thank you for introducing us to such eminent personalities, and thank you for a very clear, clarified workshop on the nuances of NAAC, and thank you for clarifying all our genuine doubts in your workshop. We are expecting such a kind of conferences from you in near future also, and thank you for once again. I thank the organizers for their excellent organization in spite of several setbacks and several hurdles. You have organized an excellent workshop, both offline and online. I was there yesterday. The hospitality was very good. I was really impressed, and thank you for such a wonderful workshop, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful words. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
So, with your permission, can we leave? Can we leave the meeting?
Sir, Muruganandam, sir.
Let us rise for nation.
Sir.
We want the PowerPoint presentations of the resource version in the group, madam. Kindly share the PowerPoint.
Sir, share, sir.
இந்த இது எப்படி யாரு